Praise the Lord, and welcome to this explainer. Today, we're unpacking an absolutely gripping personal story of profound forgiveness and the pursuit of peace. We're looking at Genesis 33, and let me tell you, this narrative is packed with real-world tension, incredibly high stakes, and some absolutely brilliant lessons for our own lives. So, let's dive right into this impossibly tense situation. I want you to imagine that pit in your stomach dread you feel when you have to face a family member you wronged years ago. You know that feeling, right? Well, now amplify that dread by 1,000, because this family member isn't just showing up for a tense family dinner, he's currently marching toward you with a literal army. And that is exactly where we find Jacob as he prepares to finally meet his estranged brother, Esau. Jacob is completely consumed by anxiety. He looks up and sees Esau coming in the distance. So as a desperate protective measure, he strategically divides up his entire family. He puts the female servants and their children in the front, then Leah and her kids, and finally Rachel and Joseph way in the back. It's actually a lot like a modern-day parent instinctively stepping in front of their kids when they sense danger. He is bracing for the absolute worst-case scenario. And honestly, his reason for expecting the worst is incredibly simple. 400 men. That number represents a massive, terrifying show of force that essentially tells Jacob his life and the lives of everyone he loves might literally be over in a few minutes. We aren't talking about a mild intimidation tactic here. This is an overwhelming, real-world threat. So, faced with this massive threat, Jacob does something totally unexpected. He completely drops his defenses. He actually steps out in front of his family to take the lead, and he physically humbles himself. He bows down to the ground 7 times as he approaches his brother. He doesn't puff his chest out, he doesn't try to look tough or act defensive. He just makes himself entirely vulnerable. And then we get this breathtaking, emotional climax. The long-feared confrontation just melts into an unexpected, weeping brotherly embrace. Esau doesn't draw a sword. Instead, he runs, throws his arms around Jacob's neck, and kisses him. It's amazing. All those years of bitter estrangement dissolve in a single instant into tears of reconciliation. Then Esau looks up, sees the women and children, and asks who they are. Jacob introduces them, but I want you to listen closely to how he phrases this. He says, "They are the children God has graciously given your servant." His family approaches and bows down. You see, Jacob is framing his entire family not as some trophy of his own success, but entirely as a gracious gift from God. Now, right after this, Esau asks about all those massive flocks and herds he met along the way. Jacob had actually sent droves of animals ahead of him as a peace offering. Think of it kind of like bringing a really thoughtful gift to a neighbor, or maybe paying for an expensive dinner to clear the air after a bitter argument, just on a much grander, ancient scale. Jacob tells him it was simply to find favor in his eyes. But Esau's response here is incredibly surprising. He initially flat-out refuses this extravagant gift. He tells him, "I already have plenty, my brother. Keep what you have for yourself." This is such a beautiful moment because it proves that Esau's anger has completely dissolved. He doesn't want to extract a payment for the past. He's just genuinely happy to have his brother back. And this brings out a profound sense of relief in Jacob. He insists Esau take the gift, saying something really powerful, that seeing Esau's face favorably is like seeing the face of God. You know, when we experience true, unmerited forgiveness from someone we've deeply hurt, it really is a beautiful reflection of divine grace. Because Jacob absolutely insists, explaining that God has been gracious to him and that he already has all he needs, Esau finally accepts the present. The gift basically becomes a tangible restitution for past wrongs. It's a physical closing of the books on their old, bitter rivalry. So the reconciliation is absolutely beautiful. But reality quickly sets in, right? We see an immediate need to establish some healthy boundaries. Esau says, "Hey, let us be on our way. I'll accompany you." He wants to travel together. But Jacob provides a very realistic reality check. He points out that the children are tender and the ewes and cows are nursing. Jacob basically tells Esau, if they are driven hard just one day, all the animals will die. It's so relatable, isn't it? It's exactly like when overbearing family members want you to match their frantic, exhausting pace on a holiday trip, even if it totally burns you out. Jacob knows his family's limits perfectly, and he refuses to let Esau's rapid, military pace destroy what he's built. Esau, trying to be helpful, politely offers another option. He offers to leave some of his men behind as an escort. But Jacob respectfully declines again, simply saying, "Let me find favor in the eyes of my Lord." What Jacob is doing here is prioritizing his own family's autonomy and their specific daily needs over the convenience of traveling under his brother's shadow. In the immediate aftermath of this reunion, creating physical distance becomes the ultimate healthy boundary. That very same day, Esau starts on his way back to Seir. Jacob, on the other hand, goes to Succoth and later on to Shechem. This physical separation is exactly what allows both brothers to peacefully return to their separate lives without risking a brand new conflict. The text specifically mentions that Jacob went to Succoth, which literally translates to shelters. There, he built a place for himself and made shelters for his livestock. Building these shelters really represents a tangible sigh of relief. After surviving an intense emotional storm, Jacob is finally finding stability, safety, and a much-needed chance for his family and flocks to just rest. Eventually, Jacob arrives safely at the city of Shechem in Canaan, and he finally puts down roots. He buys a plot of ground for 100 pieces of silver from the sons of Hamor. Right there, he pitches his tent and sets up an altar, calling it El Elohe Israel, which means, "Mighty is the God of Israel." After everything, he has finally come home. All right, now that we've seen this incredible narrative play out, let's pull 3 actionable steps directly from Jacob's successful conflict resolution that we can apply to our own daily lives. Step 1, humble yourself. Just like Jacob physically bowing 7 times before his brother, lowering our own ego is the very first vital step to diffusing modern relational tension. When we approach a conflict with genuine respect and vulnerability instead of defensiveness and pride, we blow the doors wide open for grace. Step 2, make restitution. Similar to Jacob insisting that Esau take his flocks and herds as a gift, we have to be willing to take concrete actions to repair the damage we've caused. Saying "I'm sorry" is a great start, for sure, but offering a tangible olive branch shows that you truly understand the weight of your past actions. And finally, step 3, guard your capacity. Even after a beautiful, tearful reconciliation, Jacob did not let Esau dictate his family's speed. We have to remember to never sacrifice the well-being of our own flocks, meaning our mental health, our family time, or a personal schedule, just to keep up with someone else's expectations. As we wrap up this explainer, I really want you to think deeply about this. How can this ancient model of grace and boundary setting heal your own unresolved conflicts today? Because true, lasting peace requires both immense grace and incredibly clear boundaries. Thank you so much for watching, and please like, share, and subscribe to help us keep bringing you these deep dives.